On a remote island in the Pacific Ocean, a special group of seniors enjoys crystal clear memories as if they're still in their 20s. They remember names, dates, and passwords at the drop of a hat. They focus on a task for hours without tiring, whether they're crunching numbers or staying alert while watching over young children. Plus, these seniors enjoy active social lives into their 80s and 90s because they easily share tiny details like from their weddings and childhoods. But what if I told you these seniors didn't do more brain puzzles, they didn't take any special pills, and they didn't even cut out smoking and alcohol? In fact, their rates of binge drinking alcohol are up to 10.8 times higher than rates off the island. As you'll see in a few moments, this special group of seniors has a little secret. They eat a bizarre breakfast that wipes years off their brain's age. And once I tell you all about this discovery, it'll help you recapture a razor-sharp memory and mind in only 7 seconds a day. Because if you're like most adults in the USA, you pay an arm and a leg for countless doctor visits. You train your brain with crosswords. I bet you even cut out unhealthy foods from your diet. Yet more than 1 in 10 of Americans still suffer from dementia. So why does the average senior in the USA have high rates of dementia, while this unique group of seniors on a far-flung island enjoy youthful minds into their 90s? Well, these remarkable seniors live in Okinawa. You may have heard Okinawa is home to some of the longest living people in the world, but I guarantee you've never heard of this new memory-boosting discovery. In case you don't know about Okinawa, it's a tiny island off the coast of Japan, where they have 1/3 the rate of dementia compared to the USA's rate. But it's not due to their ethnicity or genes. Based on Harvard doctors and research published in the Journal of Nutrition, their sharp memories are thanks to a potent Okinawan memory bean they eat for breakfast. In this video, I'll share every last detail about this memory bean and how you can use it to reclaim a clear mind and laser-like focus. You'll erase embarrassing senior moments like losing your keys or wallet, forgetting why you walked into a room, or repeating the same thing over and over. You'll strengthen your memory and recall names, movie titles, and numbers in a heartbeat without drugs or brain puzzles. Most importantly, you'll relive a more innocent time of your life. Think back to when you were a kid. Your brain could soak up info like a sponge. You were filled with naive confidence and optimism because your brain was functioning like a supercomputer. Fortunately, this Okinawan memory bean helps you recapture that sharp mind you once had. In fact, it's the closest thing to stepping in a time machine. Unlike most adults who slow down and are bound to a chair in their golden years, you explore the bubbling geysers of Yellowstone National Park, meet new friends, and entertain them for hours as words easily roll off your tongue. And you regain the freedom and independence to live life on your terms. I know you may be rolling your eyes, but this isn't a fantasy or science fiction. It's the reality for over 32,477 people who've tried this Okinawan breakthrough, like Margaret from Hollywood, Florida.
I was mixing up names of people I knew for years. I was forgetting where I parked my car. I was even missing appointments. Thanks to you, I'm clear-headed and I'm remembering tiny details I thought I lost forever.
And how about Harold from Seattle, Washington?
My grandkids would call me out every time I repeated the same thing over and over. I felt like I was failing them as a grandpa and a role model. But now I'm so alert. I feel like I'm a sharp 25-year-old again.
And here's what Mary from Lexington, Kentucky had to say.
I lost count of all the crosswords I've done. But within just 1 hour of trying your solution, I've regained a sense of clarity I haven't felt in years. I even read an entire book in just 3 days.
Isn't that exciting? Well, there's no reason you can't join them. I just have to warn you that you will not find this info in mainstream media. They're too busy chasing the latest political scandals or filling your mind with fear. This video is the only place you'll hear about this Okinawan memory bean. And if you exit this page, I'd hate to see your memory fade away. Maybe you forgot who your spouse or children are. Maybe you get so lost and confused you need help going to the bathroom. Or maybe you just end up in a nursing home. Even though the secret to naturally restoring a youthful memory and mind is just moments away, So please pay very close attention, because in the next few minutes you'll discover the Okinawan memory bean supporting crystal clear memories and a sharp mind in your 80s and 90s, and how you can try it today. The one-word test to instantly determine if your brain is dying. If you fail, you have a 95% chance of suffering from dementia. How to regrow tiny power plants in your brain that fuel youthful brain cells in 7 seconds a day. Harvard Medical School. Why super ager brains and young adult brains look the same. Plus how you can wipe years off your own brain. All of that's coming up next. So sit back, relax, and let's dive in. Hi, my name is Chris Wilson. I live with my lovely wife and our 2 beautiful children in the sunny state of Florida. You might have tried my best-selling program, Neurobalance Therapy, or maybe you've seen me on my YouTube channel, Critical Bench, which now has over 1 million loyal subscribers. Even though I've helped thousands of adults eliminate pain, improve their balance, get in shape, and improve their overall health, my real passion is helping people as a certified brain health trainer. I never get tired helping deserving folks like you go from foggy and sluggish to mentally sharp, strong, and filled to the brim with limitless energy, which is why my friends Tom and Lori reached out to me in the first place. They were a sweet couple in their 70s who lived in my town for over a decade, yet had been happily married for 32 years. That's why Tom was desperate for help when Lori's mind started fading away. Here's what Tom told me. Lori's memory issues started out so innocently. She'd forget one of her computer passwords or why she walked into a room. Lori often wandered around the house looking for her glasses when they were on her head the whole time. Tom just laughed and brushed it off. Hey honey, maybe we are getting old. But over the span of several months, his jokes turned into a serious concern. See, Lori wears her heart on her sleeve. Sometimes Lori would shed nostalgic tears as she'd remind Tom of their first date in college, when he took her on a romantic picnic in a field. They still have inside jokes from that day. But now, Lori couldn't remember a single detail. Unfortunately, her brain function only went downhill from there. One day, Lori got lost in the mall. According to Tom, she was like a toddler searching for their mother. His cheeks turned red as a tomato when he found her. Tom grabbed Lori by the hand and led her to the car, while gazing forward so he didn't make eye contact with onlookers. Although these events broke Tom's heart, he refused to believe that Lori was losing her memory. Yet one event shattered his reality. It forced him to come to terms with his wife's declining brain function. It was early morning on a Saturday, when Tom jolted awake to an ear-piercing scream that still gives him goosebumps.
Oh, who are you? Get out of my bed!
Tom looked around, yet he was the only other person in the room. He took a deep breath and stared into Lori's eyes.
Honey, it's Tom, your husband.
Lori curled up in the corner of their bedroom like a scared child. Her arms covered her chest as if she was protecting herself from a violent intruder. After a few moments, she went from afraid to confused.
Oh, I'm so sorry. What happened?
Tom wrapped his arms around Lori's rigid body. He squeezed her tighter than he ever had in his life, because Tom felt a pit in his stomach the size of an anchor. A dark thought swallowed him whole with no light in sight. Tom realized that his own wife didn't recognize him, which means her memory loss was very real, and it's already spiraled out of control. Tom knew if he didn't act now, he could lose the woman he loved forever. That's when Tom finally gave me a call. He told me all about Lori's memory loss. At first, I was just concerned, but then he told me something that made me spring into action.
Oh, Chris, I lay awake at night just worrying that Lori's in her own nightmare in her head and soon won't be able to take care of herself. She's not the only one suffering. You know I love Lori to death, so please don't judge me for what I'm about to say. But I feel like I just gained a third child who I have to babysit. I'm watching my wife and mother of my children slowly slip away. I feel trapped with no way out.
At that moment, I promised Tom that I'd find a way to help him and Lori, not just as a friend, but as a professional who dedicated his life to helping adults like Lori thrive at any age. That evening, I went to the library and grabbed every book I could find. I locked myself in my office, scrolled through endless articles, research papers, and forums until my eyes were bloodshot. I burned the midnight oil for weeks, yet all I could find were the same solutions I've read in countless articles. Eat healthy, exercise, avoid alcohol and smoking, do crosswords, download apps, meditate, and so on. Unfortunately, Tom and Lori already tried every last one. Even though none of the options were harmful, they didn't noticeably improve her memory or brain function. But you want to know the worst solution of all? Those dangerous pills your doctor pushes on you. Lori tried one of the leading medications and she was nauseous for weeks. Listen, the pharmaceutical company that created this medication earns billions of dollars a year, yet this medication isn't guaranteed to improve memory loss. In fact, these medications aren't even designed to target the root cause. Doctors and greedy pharmaceutical companies sleep well at night peddling medications that only ease your symptoms so they can siphon cash out of your bank account for life. How does it feel getting duped? Well, I can tell you myself, I was at my wit's end. My hopeless thoughts haunted my mind. Maybe Lori has to accept memory loss as a normal part of aging, and maybe Tom needs to accept that his wife is gone forever. Thankfully, God gave me a sign. It started with visions of Tom and Lori growing old together, which reminded me of my dreams with my own wife, where we'd sink our toes in the powder white sand on a beach in Barbados, telling exciting stories to our grandchildren and making countless memories together. So I gave it one final push, and thank God I did, because that's when I found someone who could help me. His name was Dr. Yamashiro. I reached out to book a simple checkup for myself. Of course, he didn't know I had the ulterior motive of picking his brain. When I walked into his office, it was unlike anything I'd seen before. His walls were covered with plaques and certificates. He must have been a doctor for decades, yet when I finally met him, I couldn't believe my eyes. Dr. Yamashiro looked 15 years younger than I expected. He greeted me with a soft yet confident voice, and we started a friendly chit-chat. I was shocked at how sharp and eloquent he was, considering he had photos of his grandchildren who must have been middle schoolers. Finally, he asked if I've been experiencing any health issues. I know he was asking about me, but I couldn't help but gush every detail about my search for a memory solution. After listening carefully, Dr. Yamashiro gave me a cocky smile like he's solved this issue a million times. That's when he revealed the truth about memory loss based on reports from Harvard Medical School.
You might have heard your brain shrinks with age, but the most significant region is your hippocampus, which controls learning and memory. For years, we didn't know exactly why our hippocampus gets smaller, until scientists closely examined these tiny power plants in your brain called mitochondria. Mitochondria are parts of your cells that convert food into clean energy. They fuel everything from the pumping of your heart to you walking upstairs or doing the dishes. But since your brain is filled with trillions of mitochondria, they are also the key to understanding memory loss. Here's why. As these power plants produce energy for your brain and the rest of your body, they also produce a toxic waste product, reactive oxygen species, or ROS. This toxic waste clogs the pipes of your power plants, coats the gears so they can't produce as much energy, and ultimately destroys your power plants. In other words, ROS toxins kill your mitochondria, and due to advancements in technology and agriculture, there are tons of things that accelerate the destruction of your mitochondria. Artificial chemicals in our food, toxins in our water, dangerous ingredients in medications, chronic stress, pollution in our air, and many other toxins. But it gets worse. Not only do mitochondria fuel your brain with energy so it can function properly, your brain cells, also called neurons, depend on mitochondria to survive. In a clinical study published in the Journal of Toxicology, the scientists stated, once the mitochondria are destabilized, cells are destined to commit suicide. To put it bluntly, if your mitochondria die, your brain cells die too. It's like when the power plants are destroyed, the entire city they support crumbles to dust. That helps explain why your hippocampus shrinks with age, why your memory fades away over time, why you can't recall your neighbor's name, why you may feel more spaced out or take a longer time to respond to a question. It's all because your mitochondria are dying.
I couldn't believe what I was hearing. So I asked Dr. Yamashiro, so what can I do to save Lori's mitochondria and brain? Dr. Yamashiro gazed at the ceiling with his hand on his chin.
People back in my home country must have cracked the code. When I visit my family in Okinawa, Japan, it's nothing like it is here in the States. Grandparents are just as sharp as people years younger. They often continue working into old age, when most Americans would just retire. They garden, cook, clean, and take care of their grandkids.
How? I blurted out. Dr. Yamashiro paused to think and said,
It has something to do with their diet. You know, I grew up eating something called natto. It's this sticky, slimy, fermented soybean. Some people can stomach it. Others say it tastes like dirt and smells like rotting cheese in a dumpster. It's literally one of the world's most powerful superfoods. But hey, I don't think you're going to find it in your supermarket. You should just move to Okinawa.
Although Dr. Yamashiro and I laughed together at his joke, I'd be lying if I said I didn't consider it. During my drive home, all the pieces of the puzzle started coming together. Toxins bombard your mitochondria until they die. When your mitochondria die, your brain cells die. The key is to regrow mitochondria in your brain. These new mitochondria can then support a healthy hippocampus and a brain that practically processes info like a supercomputer, which those superagers were blessed with. That's why in a Harvard experiment, the scientists couldn't tell the difference between superager brains and young adult brains. Regrowing new mitochondria is also how you can be the first to remember your kids' birthdays, feel more lucid and clear-headed than you have in years, eliminate embarrassing senior moments like repeating the same stories to your grandkids or losing your glasses, and protect your precious memories like the birth of your first child, your wedding day, or who your own spouse is. Before I tell you exactly how to regrow youthful mitochondria, how do you know if mitochondria in your brain are dying? A study published in the renowned journal Psychiatry revealed a one-word dementia test. It's simple and only takes a few seconds. But if you get even one thing wrong, you fail this test. Here it goes. Spell world. Now spell world backward. List the letters of world in alphabetical order. All right, time's up. Here are the answers. How'd you do? If you got even one thing wrong, your mitochondria may be dying, which means your memories will soon fade away if they haven't already. And if you got 100%, congratulations, but this doesn't mean you're off the hook yet. Toxins are constantly assaulting your mitochondria, so if you want to keep your memories, pay attention to this next part. After meeting Dr. Yamashiro, I only had one lingering question left. How do you regrow mitochondria in your brain? I searched endlessly on the internet, but nothing directly grew more mitochondria, or they were some shady product with zero scientific proof. It looked like I was hitting another dead end. Then I remembered how Dr. Yamashiro mentioned natto in Okinawa. According to studies, natto has a crazy list of benefits like slashing your blood pressure and cholesterol levels, improving digestion, reducing gas and clearing bloating, strengthening bones, boosting immunity, enhancing your mood, and much more. Despite these incredible benefits, there's no way I'd force Lori to eat some nasty exotic food that makes her gag. Fortunately, something else caught my eye. I noticed natto is the #1 source of something called PQQ. According to the Journal of Biological Chemistry, it's a little-known antioxidant that's 100 times more effective at eliminating ROS toxins than vitamin C, which means PQQ is like a sky-high castle wall, defending your mitochondria from attackers. And that's not even the best part. PQQ signals your body to grow new mitochondria. A study published in the Journal of Nutrition showed PQQ boosted the amount of mitochondria by 60.2%. That could be the difference between slogging through your day in a haze and leaping out of bed with boundless energy. When you regrow fresh, youthful mitochondria, you'll be sharp as a tack. No more mixing up your grandkids' names or taking awkward pauses to do simple math. If you're skeptical, then check out this experiment from UC Davis. Scientists deprived subjects of PQQ. As you'd expect, the subjects grew frail and sluggish. Their immune systems started breaking down, and their mitochondria levels plummeted. Yet, when they took PQQ, they bounced back to their youthful, energetic selves. It's like PQQ reversed their age. In another study, Japanese scientists found that seniors who took PQQ were mentally sharper. They also reclaimed the booming energy levels they once had, and experienced pleasant moods and deep, restful sleep. Isn't all this scientific proof exciting? I couldn't believe it. I finally found a solution to the root problem behind memory loss. There was only one thing left to do: get PQQ into Lori's hands. So I opened my Rolodex of contacts and I reached out to everyone I could find, until I finally got in touch with a buddy in manufacturing who could ship PQQ over to the US. When the bottles of PQQ finally arrived, I immediately called Lori so she could try them. At first, she didn't feel any effects. She gazed up at me with a furrow in her brow.
Chris, are you sure this is going to work?
Lori didn't believe in me, but I kept my hopes high. All I could do was wait. Fortunately, Lori called me at 8 a.m. that weekend.
Chris, I've been taking PQQ every day this week. I feel so alive. It's like I'm a college kid again.
Lori went on to explain how she is mentally alert and filled with unstoppable energy from dawn till dusk. Instead of losing her train of thought in a conversation, the words flow effortlessly. No more senior moments either. Last time she baked cookies, the fire alarm went off. This time, she served the grandkids the chewiest cookies they ever had, and they had a relaxing Friday night sharing new stories. As tears rolled down my cheek, Tom grabbed the phone from Lori and said,
"Oh, thanks, Chris. I thought I lost her. I finally have my wife back."
At that moment, I knew PQQ was too powerful to keep to myself. So I reached back out to my manufacturing buddy and I created a formula containing PQQ and 6 other powerful ingredients to recapture a youthful memory and brain. It's called Neuro Thrive. Neuro Thrive is truly a second shot at a young brain, because right now your mitochondria are dying. Other brain formulas can only assist your mitochondrial health, but Neuro Thrive is the only formula that regrows youthful mitochondria. So you can go from scattered and forgetful to lucid and clear-headed like you were decades ago. You just take 1 veggie capsule per day to easily remember names, dates, and locations. You'll get rid of embarrassing senior moments. No more "what was I going to say again?" or misplacing your wallet. Instead, you trade them for a sharp mind that instantly absorbs info like a human encyclopedia. Maybe you learn a new language, read a new book, or enjoy your golden years with adventures to islands in the Caribbean, because that's what's possible with Neuro Thrive. If you're still doubtful, listen to what a few of our Neuro Thrive customers think about it. Betty from Rockaway, New Jersey said,
"I was super skeptical at first, but after I introduced 2 friends at dinner and fumbled their names, I tried Neuro Thrive. Now my friends joke that I'm too young for them because I can recall tiny details at the drop of a hat."
Joan from Oakland, California said,
As I've gotten older, I've started getting lost in conversations and forgetting simple words. But since I started taking Neuro Thrive, I have a new sense of confidence and independence because I'm as sharp as I was 20 years ago.
Robert from Phoenix, Arizona said,
I've felt more focused and alert since the first day of taking Neuro Thrive. Since then, all the memories I thought I'd lost have been flooding back into my head. Just wanted to make this video and let you know, you're changing lives.
Amazing, right? I'll tell you exactly how to get your hands on Neuro Thrive with an exclusive discount in just a few moments. First, you need to know that you can't just grab PQQ or other Neuro Thrive ingredients from Amazon. All 7 ingredients work together to create the most potent memory boosting effect. So let me quickly explain what's in every bottle of Neuro Thrive. Each bottle has 30 veggie capsules, which are vegetarian friendly, non-GMO, and manufactured in a pristine GMP certified facility. The first ingredient is, of course, PQQ. You already know that PQQ regrows mitochondria, which are the power plants for your brain. It also opens the floodgates to blood flow for your brain and surges something called NGF. NGF protects brain cells in your hippocampus from toxins, while actually promoting the creation of new neurons in your brain. You know what that means? A younger, sharper mind. Neuro Thrive is a life changer with PQQ alone, but I wanted to create something even more powerful. That's why I added Bacopa. For centuries, Bacopa has been hidden deep in the Himalayan mountains. Ancient Ayurvedic doctors used it to improve memory and reduce anxiety. Finally, cutting-edge research proves Bacopa grows your neurons. Take a look at this photo from a trailblazing group of scientists. Notice how photos C and D have a lot more of those branching roots? Those are called dendrites, and they're vital for memory because they allow neurons to communicate with each other. As you can probably guess, the neurons in photos C and D were treated with Bacopa, which caused the neurons to grow as if you're a sharp student again who absorbs information like a sponge. Now, the secret active compound is bacosides. We made sure to include 50% bacosides, so instead of a wimpy boost in memory, you crank your brain power into overdrive. Believe it or not, these effects are enhanced ever more with our third ingredient, alpha GPC. Alpha GPC breaks down to form choline in your body, which helps create more acetylcholine, a neurotransmitter involved in memory and attention. In fact, low levels of acetylcholine are notoriously linked to dementia. On the other hand, a study published in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition reported seniors who take enough choline experience better cognitive performance. And according to MIT, seniors who took choline had significantly better verbal memory. Finally, I included GABA. It's a neurotransmitter that calms your nerves and gives you the most serene, blissful sleep of your life. Recently, we found out it has cognitive benefits too. Japanese scientists discovered that GABA enhances your memory and attention. They believe GABA releases IGF-1. It then activates your brain so you can recall tiny details and experience vibrant focus. Besides those 4 powerhouse ingredients, I topped off Neuro Thrive with our brain-boosting vitamin blend. It contains vitamin D3 to slow down loss of memory and cognitive function, while slashing your risk of a scary fall in your bathroom or on the stairs. Lastly, I added vitamin B3 and vitamin B6 to decrease homocysteine levels that are linked to dementia, and to fuel your brain and body with clean energy. Okay, that's everything inside each serving of Neuro Thrive. While the formula may sound fancy, the science-backed ingredients are natural, 100% safe, and don't have any stimulants that could interfere with medication. Fortunately, that means you can try Neuro Thrive without a single worry. Which brings up an important question. How do you get your hands on Neuro Thrive and how much does it cost? Remember, I designed Neuro Thrive as a last-ditch effort to save my friend Lori and her declining memory. And if we cut corners, she could have been trapped in a haze forever. The bottom line is Neuro Thrive works. That's because its premium formula contains the most effective ingredients in the world at clinically effective doses. Every bottle is manufactured in a world-class FDA-registered facility in Ohio. Of course, quality like this doesn't come cheap, which is why we could charge a very high price for each bottle of NeuroThrive. But when you compare NeuroThrive to all the generic memory supplements out there, the ones that don't even contain PQQ or help your mitochondria, NeuroThrive's price will seem like a total bargain. Think about it. How much would you invest to save your mind? So you're independent instead of sitting in a chair all day wondering who you even are. How about protecting your cherished memories like how you met your spouse, the birth of your children, watching your child or grandchild get married? Without embarrassing senior moments like forgetting people's names. No more turning over the couch cushions to find your phone. No more losing your train of thought in the middle of a conversation. What would you be willing to spend to make this dream your reality? $200? $500? $1,000? If you ask me, it's not about money. I'd journey to the ends of the earth if it meant I wouldn't be sitting in a chair, lost in space for the rest of my life. Well, my team suggested that I should at least cover the cost of research, ingredients, payroll, and all the other crazy expenses up to this point. And that puts the retail price at $149. But when I heard this price from my team, something didn't sit right with me. My goal is to get NeuroThrive in as many hands as possible. And that's why we cut out the middleman, so we ship directly to you from our website. Fortunately, this also means we can slash the price to $99 when we do our full launch. But it gets even better. Because you've made it this far into the video, I know you're serious about your brain health. So I want to reward you with a special price only available through this video. Today, and for a limited time only, I'd like to offer you a bottle of NeuroThrive for only $69. However, most NeuroThrive customers order 3 or 6 bottles at an even steeper discount. And the reason is simple. While many users notice a boost in focus and mental clarity from the very first serving, the real magic happens when you take NeuroThrive for 90 days or more. That's because the ingredients take time to build up and give you the maximum effect. In a study from the HealthGot Research Institute, people with poor memory took Bacopa, one of the ingredients in NeuroThrive. By 6 weeks, their recall significantly improved, but by 12 weeks, they experienced a 400% greater increase in memory than they saw by week 6, and that's just one ingredient. Imagine how sharp your mind will be when you take all the ingredients in NeuroThrive. Simply put, the longer you take NeuroThrive, the stronger your memory becomes. And if you're really serious about fighting memory decline, another good reason to stock up is the loading method. Here's how it works. Instead of just 1 capsule, double it by taking 2 capsules a day. This builds up the ingredients much faster, so you sharpen your mind in as little time as possible. Just imagine 1 week from now, you could stop feeling like an old codger and feel like you stepped out of a time machine. With a laser-focused brain that is more alert, you carry conversations without losing your train of thought, and you easily remember everyone's name. That's all possible when you take NeuroThrive every day for at least 90 days, and especially when using the loading method. Of course, this all means you'll run out of your supply faster than expected. So the best route is to order 6 bottles of NeuroThrive today, which is a 6-month supply. Since we're shipping in bulk instead of 1 bottle at a time, we can cut down on costs and pass these savings on to you. Plus, I'd hate for you to try 1 bottle, reclaim crystal clear memories for a month, only to run out of your supply and see we are out of stock too. Look, NeuroThrive works well, very well. And it's the only solution of its kind in existence. No surprise, NeuroThrive is in high demand, so we run out of our current inventory often. And thanks to our strict quality assurance standards and premium ingredients, it can take 1 to 3 months to restock. If you're left waiting for the restock, your mitochondria will likely start degenerating. Your mental processing will slow down, while the senior moments return with a vengeance. But none of that has to happen, because we're giving you the steepest discounts on the 3 and 6 bottle options. Today, you can order 3 bottles of Neuro Thrive for only $59 plus free shipping and handling. And you'll save the most when ordering 6 bottles of Neuro Thrive for only $49 plus free shipping and handling. That's $600 off retail price. And if you think about it, it only comes out to $1.50 a day. This 6-bottle option saves you the most money, makes it less likely you'll run out and get hit with a long waiting time for a restock, and simply gets you the best results, especially when you take 2 servings every day using the loading method. So here's what to do next. Click the Add to Cart button below to order Neuro Thrive now. The moment you click the button below, you'll be taken to our 100% secure 256-bit encrypted order form. It's the same technology big banks and trusted companies like Amazon use. Just fill in your info, and after submitting it, our team will immediately start processing your order to ship to your doorstep. I really can't blame you if you still have your doubts though. There are shysters who'd love to run off with your money, while you're left high and dry with a bogus product. Let's be real, you've likely been burned before. And that's why we're taking all the risk off your shoulders with our 60-day Neuro Thrive guarantee. Here's how it works. If you don't notice improvement in your memory and cognitive function, feel more focused and alert throughout the day, and regain the confidence that your memory struggles stole from you, just send a quick email to our support team. Within 60 days of your purchase, we'll promptly refund every single cent. No questions asked or strings attached, but I doubt that's going to happen. Neuro Thrive is the only memory-boosting formula designed to regrow youthful mitochondria and wipe years off your brain's age. That's why thousands of folks have improved their memory and cognitive function without expensive treatments or harmful medications. You truly have nothing to lose. There's no reason to not give this a test drive. So, go ahead and click the Add to Cart button to order Neuro Thrive. If you've made it this far, then it's time to make a decision. The way I see it, you really only have 2 options. Option 1, you ignore everything you've learned today. You stick with the usual methods to improve memory, like taking supplements, playing brain games, or doing crossword puzzles. As time passes, you struggle to remember names, dates, and important information. I hate to say it, but you may even forget who your loved ones are, or who you are. Why would you go down this route? Especially when your memory-boosting solution is just a click away. Fortunately, you can take another path. Option 2, you try Neuro Thrive risk-free. You immediately feel more alert and energetic. Over the coming days, tiny details from your daughter's wedding put a smile on your face. And most importantly, you grab life by the horns, taking your best years wherever you want. At dinner, you entertain guests as words effortlessly roll off your tongue. You decide to learn a new language and easily retain the info. You explore the cobblestone streets of Paris or simply spend weekends with your grandkids, giving them your full focus and presence. This is no exception either. This is the reality for thousands of adults who've already tried Neuro Thrive. And between you and me, this is the lowest price we've ever offered Neuro Thrive. Remember, we can only afford to offer this sweet deal to the next 100 buyers of Neuro Thrive, but you have nothing to lose because you get to try it risk-free for the next 60 days. So go ahead and click the Add to Cart button to order the 6-month supply of Neuro Thrive or whichever option is best for you. I'm so excited to hear about your life with a sharper, focused memory. Thank you for watching. Still here? Then I'm sure you still have some questions. So let me go ahead and answer the most common ones for you. Who is Neuro Thrive for? Neuro Thrive is for anyone who wants to improve their memory, focus, and mental clarity. You can order for yourself, or if you're a caring family member or friend, you can order a 3 or 6 month supply for a loved one, like thousands of other Neuro Thrive customers have done. Is Neuro Thrive safe? Neuro Thrive consists of 7 natural, potent ingredients that improve your brain function and health. Each bottle has 30 veggie capsules which are vegetarian friendly, non-GMO, Prop 65 compliant, and is manufactured in a pristine GMP certified facility right here in the USA. So rest assured you are safe from toxic heavy metals or nasty bacteria. I've tried other memory supplements before. How do I know Neuro Thrive is any different? Most memory supplements on the market are low quality, generic formulas that don't target the root cause of memory loss. However, Neuro Thrive contains effective dosages of the world's most proven brain-boosting ingredients. Most importantly, every serving contains PQQ, which regrows youthful mitochondria to reclaim a sharp mind like you're in the prime of your youth again. Do I need to change my diet while taking Neuro Thrive? Participants in studies using these ingredients, as well as actual Neuro Thrive users, have seen significant improvements in their memory and focus without making any other changes to their diets. Of course, a healthy diet is always recommended for optimal health. What if I don't see results with Neuro Thrive? If you don't see results or aren't 100% satisfied for any reason whatsoever within 60 days, just send us an email and we'll promptly refund every penny. With our 60-day Neuro Thrive money-back guarantee, you have nothing to lose. How fast will I receive my order? As soon as you place your order, our team in the warehouse will start packaging up your shipment. It usually takes 5 to 7 business days, but the exact time depends on your location. What now? Just scroll down and select your preferred package now. We recommend the 6-bottle option because the longer you take Neuro Thrive, the better results you'll see. By ordering that option right now, you save an incredible $668. This massive discount expires when 100 people take advantage of this deal. So scroll down now and select the 6-bottle option or whatever package you prefer. I'm so excited to hear how Neuro Thrive changed your life.